dressage test. It is a tool.
Lateral work.
For gymnastic stretching of the body. And thus, I think of it as their yoga. Okay? And so when we do it in 3 tracks, it has the ability to collect the horse. When we do it in 4 tracks, it supples the horse. So it's both a balancing exercise and a suppling exercise. And we have the possibility of helping the horse really think about the different separate parts of its body. Okay? So is she stiff left or right?
Well, she leans on my left leg.
On your left rein too?
Yes.
Does she bend easily to the left?
When I'm going left, she can bend easily to the left, but when I'm going right, I always have to watch myself to not pull on the left rein because I feel like we're having a little war there. But I think that really she's stiff to the right.
Well, she's short, contracted on the right.
Yes, she's short on the left. When I go for the longest time, when I would go to the left, she'd pop her shoulder out to the right, and that's getting better.
So one thing though, especially when we have a horse who wants to be on the forehand, I mean every horse, but especially horses who are a little heavier on the forehand, we can never let them get behind the vertical.
Okay.
Even a centimeter.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit behind the vertical is kind of like being a little bit pregnant. Okay, and one of the reasons is that when that atlas axis joint goes beyond being the highest point, so because of the way it functions, if she gets behind the vertical, there are these 2 little hooks on the side of the skull that no longer allow lateral flexion. So then she will always be contracted on both sides of her neck. Whenever a horse goes behind the vertical, they shorten the muscles on both sides of the neck. And then you're opening the door to that head tilt, and plus even a centimeter behind the vertical puts more weight on the shoulders. Yeah. And Hillary Clayton a number of years ago did some stuff with Paul Blasick where she tested this, but she just recently wrote an article about it, that in front of the vertical, because she's got these pressure plates at her lab where she can put the hind legs on a scale and the front legs on a scale and change the posture of the neck without the horse moving and see what happens to the weight distribution. So she didn't believe, actually she did this research because she didn't believe it, that behind the vertical was that important. And she opened the pole and measured the weight on the front legs, opened it by an inch.
Interesting.
And the weight lightened on the front legs. Put it on the vertical, it got heavier. Putting it behind the vertical, it got even heavier. In every elevation of the neck. Now, the interesting thing is Boucher did this 200 years ago.
I guess my biggest concern
Yeah.
is